guys, hope you're having a fantastic Sunday afternoon. I am. For this video, I am making this video because an acquaintance of mine requested for guidance on data entry, freelance data entry. A bit of a background: I have been a freelance content writer and data entry specialist for the last 6 years. Yes, I started freelancing in campus, and it's kept me going this far, and it's a job I love, and I've learned so many skills through freelancing, one of which is data entry. So I'm making this video because it's easier to talk about what I've learned and some of the tips I can give, and also to make sure that if there's someone else out there who might find my tips useful, they can access my information without necessarily having my number or something, or my email address. So yeah, so I mostly work on Upwork. I set up my profile in 2016 on Upwork, and I've been able to establish like a solid reputation through there, and most of my regular clients, I get them from Upwork. My first project on Upwork was a data entry project, and it was an eye-opening experience. It was quite easy. I had no reviews whatsoever, but my bid was satisfactory, and the client just loved what I had envisioned for this project. So we started working together, and it was a success. It was an easy project because all it required was for me to fill in a volume of forms using information from different websites. So it's just the name of the company, the email address provided in the company website, the link to the website, location, stuff like that. So it was easily available information, and I'm a fast typist, so easy peasy for me. I earned quite a lot of money on that project, and it was fun. I've been looking forward to such projects ever since. I've gotten a few of those. I've worked on a number of data entry projects, and it's still one of my favorite kind of tasks to do because I love the repetition. I love repeating, and the organization, especially when you have to put things in order on a spreadsheet. That thing is for me. That's the kind of work I like to do, and filling in information, researching the internet. Those are the things that get me excited. So yeah. Anyway, so my first tip for if you're looking to get into this data entry game, and I'm going to talk from an Upwork perspective because that's where I mostly work on. So my first tip: understand the scope of work. Data entry projects are not all the same. Some are simple, some are relatively simple, others are complex. They require very sophisticated data research techniques that as a beginner you will not have. So start small, start with the really simple job descriptions, the ones that are 3-4 sentences, and you can clearly see the client has outlined everything you need to find for that project and stuff. Yeah. It's preferable, please do not bid. If you're a beginner, don't bid for projects that require you to search for email addresses of individuals or companies. Anything to do with lead generation, do not bid for that at this point until your skills have matured, until you understand how to get that kind of information. Because trying to find company email addresses of specific individuals is complex, and it requires time and a certain skill set. Yeah, that's what I can say. And it's about it leans towards lead generation. So on Upwork, they usually show you the categories on which the work applies on. If you see lead generation and you're a beginner, no, just go for the simple ones that require you to do a simple web search. Another tip for beginner data entry freelancers: bid on the hourly jobs. The hourly jobs are it's the opposite of a fixed price project. So you work on the basis of hours, and Upwork has this mechanism where it captures your desktop whenever you're working on an hourly project. So it does that at irregular intervals to make sure you are working on that particular project. If you've set the timer, there's a timer thingy. Yeah, you'll understand when you get there when you open your Upwork page. So my reason for wanting you to bid on these hourly projects is because, one, you get more money that way. Two, because you're given, it's the rate is calculated per hour. So it's $5, $7, $12 per hour. That's a lot of money within 4 hours or 5 hours, And two, it helps increase your hours worked metric. On Upwork, some clients will dictate that they only want to work with freelancers on a particular project if they have achieved a certain threshold of hours worked. So this simple data entry projects, this simple hourly data entry projects will help you increase the number of hours you've worked on Upwork, and then you'll be able to get more lucrative hourly jobs down the line. What else about this one? Oh yeah, do not bid too low for these jobs. The client, because it's an hourly job, you dictate the rate at which you'll charge the client. So don't bid too low. Don't be bidding like $2 or lower than that for a job, especially if you can see it requires some bits of web research. Like, be fair to yourself. And also don't bid too high, because that will automatically turn off the client, because most of these data entry jobs range between $5 and $8 on Upwork. $8 is even high. So look at the job description, understand what it's saying. And then another thing, go to the client's page, look at there's usually like an hourly rate written there, his average hourly rate. So use that to help you determine how much you should charge the client. And don't go too low, don't go too high above this average rate. Use it as a guide of some sort. Yeah, and make sure that whenever you're bidding for these jobs, like, use the job description as well to guide you on exactly what the client wants. It's like it's like every single sentence in that job description is a question to you, and then now you use your cover letter to answer those questions, you see. So customize your cover letter to fit into what the client is looking for. That is how to successfully bid, and I'll cover that in another video, but that's how I've been able to get most of my data entry projects. Okay, all of my data entry projects. What am I talking about? So what else? Oh yeah, how do you get to see all these data entry projects like at once? Like this is your main area of focus, so how do you get to see them on the page, on your bidding page? You use the filters. There are filters, like Upwork provides you with a way you can filter the kind of jobs that are coming that you'll be seeing on your feed, so on your find jobs page. So like for me, because I know I am skilled in content writing, in data entry, in creative writing, all those things. Those are the filters I use. Those are the filters I've set, and those are the only kind of jobs I get to see on my find jobs page. So do the same if you're interested in data entry. Add it to your filters so that you get to see this projects. And I have to warn you, data entry projects attract a lot of freelance attention on Upwork. So be refreshing that page. Try to bid for the work as soon as you see it. Don't delay. And then if you see, because it's usually written how many freelancers, like it gives you a range of how many freelancers have applied for that job. If you see it's more than 10, 15, 20, 50 people, don't apply for that. That's just wasting your bids. And on Upwork, our bids are fixed. So don't do that. What else? You need to understand time zones if you're going to be working on data entry projects. The clients who are hiring you as a virtual assistant. So for this data entry projects, and especially if it's an hourly job, they require you to work a certain amount of hours every single day, and they require you to do that within their time zones. So it's important that you understand their time zone and see if it fits with your own routine, so that you can be able to determine if it's convenient for you. You don't want this job to be a hassle. It's a very enjoyable thing, especially if it's simple. It's really enjoyable, and you want to do it comfortably. So make sure you do the research about the client's time zones, convert it to what time it is here before you decide that's the job for you. And another thing, please communicate effectively with the client. This is for all freelancing gigs. It's not just data entry, but I've seen, like, in data entry mostly, communication with the client is paramount. So learn to communicate effectively. Learn to even though you've not completed a certain task within the set time, learn to verbalize that. Give your reasons. Don't just hide, because that's what I've noticed some of the freelancers here do. They hide, they go off. No, you're ruining your reputation. This is your career here. So yeah, communicate effectively. Inform the client before time if there's a problem you've encountered. And to avoid embarrassments, please do not apply for a job you have no capabilities whatsoever of fulfilling. Don't. Yeah, so I don't know what okay, so now let me show you, let me give you some of the websites that you should use. I'll attach a link as well to many other websites that you can use to look for freelancing data entry gigs. My favorite is VOT. That's like the #1 virtual assistant hiring platform, freelance hiring platform. So check that out. It's a bit difficult to land a job there, mostly because of where we are based as Kenyans, but the gigs there are lucrative. You can get paid for data entry at such high rates, like $16 per hour. And there's so many other jobs posted there by different companies across this world. So check that out, because the rates are mind-blowing. Of course, there's Upwork. That's where I get most of my data entry projects. I prefer bidding on Upwork, because that's where I've at least mastered how to bid, what to say. VOT has been a challenge for me, I have to admit, but I am learning every day. And then there's also Remotive. Remotive is also a freelancing platform where virtual assistants, data entry experts, beginners can get jobs and stuff. And if you subscribe to the Remotive newsletter, they send you like daily tips and stuff. It's on productivity and on bidding and on how to get like the best clients, such like things. So yeah, I've subscribed and it's been a spectacular ride. So yeah, those are my tips. I'll write them down point by point, just to like give you an overview as you watch the video. But that's it. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to text me if you have my number, or email me if you have my address, or just post a comment on this video. Bye.